This is the Socotra. There is an island on Earth that looks as if it belongs to another planet. A place where strange umbrella-shaped trees rise above rocky mountains, where giant white sand dunes meet the deep blue sea, and where hundreds of plants and animals exist nowhere else on Earth. At first glance, it almost feels unreal. Many travelers call it the most alien-looking place on Earth. Scientists consider it one of the most unique ecosystems ever discovered. Yet despite its extraordinary beauty, millions of people have never even heard its name. This is Socotra, an isolated island in the Arabian Sea, located hundreds of kilometers from the nearest mainland. Cut off from the rest of the world for millions of years, Socotra evolved in complete isolation. As a result, nearly 40% of its plant species and many of its reptiles, birds, and insects are found nowhere else on the planet. The island's most famous symbol is the legendary dragon blood tree. With its giant umbrella-shaped crown and deep red sap, it looks like something from a fantasy movie. For centuries, its mysterious resin was traded across ancient civilizations and was believed to have healing and magical properties. But Socotra is far more than its unusual trees. Hidden inside the island are enormous limestone caves, towering mountain ranges, crystal-clear lagoons, untouched beaches, and one of the richest marine ecosystems in the Indian Ocean. Every corner reveals a landscape so unusual that many first-time visitors struggle to believe it is real. Yet behind this breathtaking scenery lies a remarkable story. A story shaped by millions of years of geological isolation. A story of ancient sailors who crossed these waters long before modern navigation existed. A story of traders carrying frankincense, dragon's blood resin, and rare goods across the Indian Ocean. And a story of a resilient people who have preserved their language, traditions, and way of life despite living on one of the world's most isolated islands. Today, Socotra is internationally recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, celebrated for its extraordinary biodiversity and natural beauty. But at the same time, it faces growing challenges from climate change, modern development, and increasing tourism. So how did one small island become one of the rarest natural treasures on Earth? Why do scientists compare it to the Galapagos Islands, while travelers describe it as another planet? And what secrets are hidden among its ancient mountains, mysterious caves, and iconic dragon blood trees? In this documentary, we'll explore the incredible landscapes of Socotra, uncover its fascinating history, discover its unique wildlife, meet the people who call this island home, and learn why protecting this extraordinary place has become more important than ever. Because sometimes, the most unbelievable places are completely real. Welcome to Socotra. After hours of flying over the Arabian Sea, all you can see outside the window is an endless expanse of deep blue water. No cities, no ships, no sign of civilization. Just the vast Indian Ocean stretching to the horizon. Then, slowly, a rugged island begins to appear. Towering mountains rise directly from the sea. White sand beaches curve along the coastline. Massive limestone plateaus and deep valleys create a landscape unlike anywhere else on Earth. This is Socotra. Although politically part of Yemen, Socotra lies nearly 380 kilometers south of the Arabian Peninsula and about 240 kilometers east of the Horn of Africa. Its isolated position has separated it from the mainland for millions of years, allowing nature to evolve in extraordinary ways. The Socotra archipelago consists of 4 main islands: Socotra, Abd al-Khoury, Samha, and Darsa. Together they cover around 3,800 square kilometers, with the main island accounting for almost all of the land area and population. Today, around 80,000 to 90,000 people live across the archipelago, with most residents living on the main island. The largest town, Hadibou, serves as the island's administrative and commercial center. Here, small markets, fishing boats, and quiet streets reflect a lifestyle that has changed little compared to many parts of the modern world. One of the island's most striking features is its incredible diversity of landscapes. Along the coast, brilliant white beaches meet crystal-clear turquoise water. Moving inland, dry limestone plateaus suddenly give way to deep green valleys fed by seasonal rainfall. Rising above everything are the Hagaha Mountains, whose highest peaks reach more than 1,500 meters above sea level. These mountains play a vital role in the island's survival. During the monsoon season, moist air from the Indian Ocean condenses into clouds around the peaks, bringing precious rain and mist that sustain many of Socotra's unique plants and freshwater springs. Because of its isolation and remarkable biodiversity, Socotra is often called the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean. but many scientists believe even that comparison doesn't fully capture how unique this island truly is. It is a place where evolution followed its own path for millions of years, creating a natural world found nowhere else on Earth. And among these mountains and valleys grows the island's most legendary symbol. A tree unlike any other on the planet. Long before Socotra appeared on modern maps, before satellites, airplanes, or even written history, this isolated island was already known to the ancient world. For thousands of years, ships crossing the Indian Ocean followed seasonal monsoon winds between Africa, Arabia, and India. Along these routes, one mysterious island became famous for something incredibly valuable: its rare natural resources. Ancient traders came searching for dragon's blood resin, fragrant incense, medicinal plants, and aloes that grew nowhere else on Earth. These precious products were carried across vast trading networks, eventually reaching the great civilizations of Egypt, Greece, Rome, Persia, and India. The Periplus of the Arabian Sea, a Greek navigation guide written during the 1st century AD, already described Socotra as an important stop for merchants sailing across the Indian Ocean. Even then, the island was known for its unique plants and strategic location. Many historians believe the name Socotra comes from the ancient Sanskrit phrase, Dvipa Sukhadara, meaning, the island of bliss, or, the blessed island. Although its exact origin is still debated, the name reflects how extraordinary this island appeared to ancient sailors. Over the centuries, different civilizations left their mark. Arab merchants established trade connections, while Christianity spread across the island several centuries before Islam arrived. Later, Islamic influence gradually became part of everyday life, shaping the culture that continues to this day. Despite these outside influences, Socotra remained remarkably isolated. High mountains, rough seas, and seasonal monsoon winds protected the island from large-scale settlement and rapid change. As a result, the people preserved their own traditions, customs, and even their own language. Socotra, one of the oldest surviving Semitic languages, spoken nowhere else in the world. In later centuries, Portuguese explorers, British naval forces, and regional powers all recognized Socotra's strategic location at the entrance to the Gulf of Aden. Yet unlike many islands, it never became a major colonial city. Instead, it remained a quiet crossroads between continents. Today, every cave, mountain, and ancient pathway tells the story of sailors, traders, and travelers who once crossed these waters in search of one extraordinary island. Because for thousands of years, Socotra wasn't just a destination, it was one of the world's greatest hidden treasures. Although Socotra belongs to Yemen, life on the island has always been very different from life on the mainland. For centuries, the island's isolation allowed its people to develop their own traditions, customs, and even their own language. Today, most residents speak Socotra, an ancient Semitic language that has been passed down orally from generation to generation. Unlike Arabic, Socotra had no traditional written alphabet for most of its history. Instead, its stories, poems, and songs survived through memory, making it one of the world's most fascinating living languages. Most of the island's population lives in small villages scattered along the coastline or at the foot of the Hagaha Mountains. Life here remains simple and closely connected to nature. Fishing, raising goats and sheep, collecting dates, and small-scale farming continue to support many families just as they have for generations. The island's largest town, Hadibu, is home to markets, schools, hospitals, government offices, and the only commercial airport on Socotra. Yet even here, life moves at a pace that feels very different from the modern cities of the world. There are no skyscrapers, no heavy traffic, and no crowded shopping districts. Instead, people know their neighbors, families gather every evening, and children still spend much of their time outdoors. Hospitality is one of the strongest values in Socotran culture. Visitors are often welcomed with tea, fresh fruit, and traditional meals prepared from locally caught fish, rice, goat meat, and homemade flatbread. Sharing food is considered a symbol of friendship and respect, a tradition that has survived for centuries. In recent years, Socotra has become increasingly connected to the outside world. Better transportation, satellite communication, and the growth of ecotourism have brought new opportunities to the island. More travelers now come each year to experience its extraordinary landscapes and unique biodiversity. However, modernization also brings new challenges. The people of Socotra face the difficult task of improving healthcare, education, and infrastructure while protecting the fragile environment that makes their island so special. Finding the balance between development and conservation has become one of Socotra's greatest responsibilities. Despite these changes, one thing has remained unchanged. The people of Socotra continue to live in harmony with the land that has protected them for thousands of years. Perhaps that is why the island has managed to preserve not only its extraordinary wildlife, but also a way of life that is becoming increasingly rare in the modern world. If there is one thing that has made Socotra famous around the world, it is its extraordinary nature. Scientists often describe the island as the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean, while many visitors simply call it the most alien-looking place on Earth. And once you step onto the island, it is easy to understand why. Because almost everywhere you look, the landscape seems to defy imagination. The undisputed symbol of Socotra is the legendary dragon blood tree. With its enormous umbrella-shaped crown, it barely resembles a normal tree. But its greatest mystery is hidden beneath its bark. When the trunk is cut, it releases a deep crimson resin that looks remarkably like blood. For thousands of years, this resin has been used as medicine, incense, natural dye, and even varnish by ancient civilizations. Legends claimed it was the blood of dragons, giving the tree the mythical name it still carries today. Yet the dragon blood tree is only one of hundreds of species found nowhere else on Earth. Socotra is home to more than 800 species of plants, and around 37% of them are endemic, meaning they exist only on this isolated archipelago. Walking across the island feels like exploring a forgotten world where evolution followed its own path for millions of years. Another remarkable plant is the desert rose, whose massive swollen trunk stores water during long dry seasons. When it blooms, bright pink flowers cover its branches, creating a stunning contrast against the island's rocky landscape. Towering frankincense trees, ancient aloe species, rare cucumber trees, and dozens of unique shrubs have adapted to survive in one of the harshest environments in the Indian Ocean. Each species tells the story of millions of years of isolation and evolution. The wildlife is just as extraordinary. More than 90% of Socotra's reptile species are found nowhere else on Earth. The island is also home to dozens of unique birds, insects, and land snails that evolved independently over countless generations. Because there are very few natural predators, many animals behave differently from those found on the mainland. This incredible biodiversity led UNESCO to declare Socotra a World Heritage Site in 2008, recognizing it as one of the planet's most important natural treasures. Standing among the dragon blood trees as the evening sun paints the landscape in golden light, it becomes easy to forget that you are still on Earth. Because Socotra doesn't simply look different, it feels like stepping into another world. While Socotra's strange forests capture most of the world's attention, another extraordinary world lies just beyond its shores. Beneath the crystal-clear waters surrounding the island is one of the richest marine ecosystems in the entire Indian Ocean. Because Socotra sits where the Arabian Sea meets the Indian Ocean, powerful ocean currents bring an incredible variety of marine life to its coastline. These nutrient-rich waters have supported life here for thousands of years and continue to make the island one of the most important biodiversity hotspots on the planet. Colorful coral reefs stretch beneath the surface, creating underwater cities filled with life. Hundreds of species of tropical fish swim among the coral gardens, while graceful sea turtles glide effortlessly through the warm water. Spinner dolphins are frequently seen racing alongside fishing boats, sometimes leaping high into the air before disappearing beneath the waves again. Farther offshore, schools of tuna migrate through these waters, followed by larger predators that keep the ecosystem in balance. During certain times of the year, lucky visitors may even witness one of the ocean's greatest spectacles. Whale sharks, the largest fish on Earth, occasionally appear in the waters around Socotra. Despite growing up to 12 meters long, these gentle giants feed only on tiny plankton and pose no danger to humans. Swimming beside one is often described as a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The surrounding seas are also home to manta rays, reef sharks, moray eels, octopuses, lobsters, and countless other marine creatures. Scientists estimate that more than 250 species of reef-building corals and hundreds of fish species live around the archipelago, making these waters among the healthiest in the region. For the people of Socotra, the ocean has always been far more than a beautiful landscape. It provides food, transportation, and a way of life that has existed for countless generations. Today, protecting these waters has become just as important as protecting the island's unique forests. Because without a healthy ocean, Socotra would never have become the extraordinary place it is today. While the dragon blood trees have become the symbol of Socotra, the island hides many other natural wonders that few people ever get the chance to see. In the center of the island rise the magnificent Hagaha Mountains, the highest peaks in the Socotra archipelago. Reaching more than 1,500 meters above sea level, these granite mountains were formed hundreds of millions of years ago, making them among the oldest geological formations in the region. As you climb higher, the landscape changes dramatically. Dry coastal plains slowly give way to cool mountain forests, deep valleys, and hidden freshwater springs. During the monsoon season, clouds gather around the peaks, covering the mountains in mist while providing precious moisture that allows many of Socotra's rare plants to survive. Scattered throughout these mountains are countless caves waiting to be explored. One of the most spectacular is Hawk Cave, stretching for more than 3 kilometers beneath the mountain. Inside, visitors discover enormous chambers filled with giant stalactites and stalagmites that have taken hundreds of thousands of years to form. Ancient inscriptions left by sailors and merchants, some dating back nearly 2,000 years, can still be seen on the cave walls, offering a remarkable glimpse into Socotra's trading past. Beyond the mountains lie vast limestone plateaus, dramatic canyons, and towering white sand dunes that descend directly into the turquoise waters of the Arabian Sea. Places such as Arha Beach create breathtaking scenery where massive dunes meet the ocean, a landscape found in very few places on Earth. As the sun begins to set, golden light spreads across the mountains, caves, and dragon blood tree forests. Shadows stretch across the valleys, and for a brief moment, Socotra feels less like an island, and more like another world. Perhaps that is why every traveler who visits leaves with the same feeling. They didn't simply explore an island. They stepped into one of Earth's last truly untouched natural wonders. While Socotra's landscapes may seem almost otherworldly, its greatest treasure has always been the people who call this island home. For thousands of years, the people of Socotra have lived in harmony with one of the harshest environments in the Indian Ocean. Surrounded by the sea and separated from the mainland, they developed a unique culture that has survived through generations. One of the most fascinating parts of this culture is the Socotra language. Spoken only on this archipelago, it is considered one of the oldest living Semitic languages in the world. For centuries, it existed almost entirely as an oral language. Stories, poems, legends, and songs were passed from parents to children without being written down, allowing ancient traditions to survive into the modern age. Family and community remain at the heart of daily life. In many villages, neighbors know one another by name, and helping each other is still a natural part of life. Hospitality is deeply rooted in Socotran culture. Visitors are often welcomed with tea, dates, fresh fish, and traditional meals prepared with rice, goat meat, honey, and locally grown fruits. Most villages remain small and peaceful. Many homes are built using local stone, while fishermen head out to sea before sunrise just as their ancestors did centuries ago. Others herd goats across the mountains or care for small farms where dates, vegetables, and medicinal plants are grown. Traditional clothing can still be seen in many parts of the island, especially during religious celebrations and local festivals. Music, poetry, and storytelling continue to play an important role in preserving Socotra's identity. Around evening gatherings, elders share stories of ancient sailors, powerful storms, and the legends surrounding the mysterious dragon blood trees. Religion also plays an important role in everyday life. The vast majority of Socotra's population is Muslim, and Islamic traditions shape many aspects of community life while existing alongside customs that have survived on the island for centuries. Despite the arrival of mobile phones, the internet, and modern transportation, much of Socotra has managed to preserve a slower, simpler way of life. Here, nature still determines the rhythm of each day. Perhaps that is why visitors often leave with the feeling that they have traveled not only to another place, but to another time. Because on Socotra, some of the world's oldest traditions are still alive. Unlike many countries, Socotra's greatest wealth is not found beneath the ground. It is found in its nature. For generations, the island's economy depended on fishing, livestock, date farming, and the collection of natural products such as dragon's blood resin, frankincense, and aloe. These resources helped local communities survive long before modern transportation connected Socotra to the outside world. Today, tourism has become one of the island's fastest-growing industries. Every year, thousands of travelers, photographers, scientists, and adventure seekers make the long journey to Socotra. They come to hike through the dragon blood tree forests, explore ancient caves, camp beneath millions of stars, and dive into one of the most untouched marine ecosystems on Earth. Unlike many tropical destinations, Socotra has deliberately remained a place for low-impact, eco-friendly tourism. Large luxury resorts and crowded beaches are rare. Instead, visitors are encouraged to respect the island's fragile ecosystems and support local communities. However, Socotra also faces serious challenges. Climate change is affecting rainfall patterns, prolonged droughts threaten rare plant species, and stronger tropical cyclones have damaged villages and ecosystems in recent years. Increasing tourism, if not carefully managed, could also put pressure on the island's unique biodiversity. At the same time, Socotra's political situation adds another layer of complexity. Although the island is internationally recognized as part of Yemen, its remote location has allowed it to remain relatively isolated from much of the conflict affecting the mainland. Even so, economic development, infrastructure, healthcare, and conservation continue to require careful planning and international cooperation. Scientists and conservation organizations now work closely with local communities to protect the island's extraordinary wildlife. Their goal is simple: to ensure that future generations inherit the same untouched paradise that exists today. Because once a species disappears from Socotra, it disappears from Earth forever. As the sun slowly disappears beyond the horizon, Socotra begins to transform. The golden light fades across the dragon blood trees. The towering cliffs cast long shadows over the valleys. Gentle waves roll onto quiet beaches, while the evening wind moves silently through the island's ancient forests. For a moment, everything becomes perfectly still. At first glance, Socotra may seem like just another remote island lost in the middle of the sea. But after exploring its mountains, caves, forests, coral reefs, and ancient traditions, one thing becomes clear. This island is unlike anywhere else on Earth. For millions of years, nature shaped Socotra in complete isolation, creating a living world found nowhere else on the planet. Long before modern civilization, sailors crossed dangerous oceans to reach its shores. Generations of islanders learned to live with the land rather than trying to conquer it. Today, that harmony still survives. The dragon blood trees continue to stand against the mountain sky. Sea turtles still return to the same beaches where they have nested for centuries. Dolphins still race through the clear blue waters. And every sunrise, fishermen continue a tradition that has connected the people of Socotra to the sea for thousands of years. But this extraordinary paradise is also fragile. Climate change, extreme weather, and human activity remind us that even the rarest places on Earth are not guaranteed to last forever. The future of Socotra will depend not only on the people who live here, but also on the choices made by the rest of the world. Because protecting a place like Socotra is about more than saving one island. It is about protecting one of Earth's last great natural masterpieces. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson Socotra teaches us. Nature does not need humanity. Humanity needs nature, and if we learn to respect it instead of controlling it, places like Socotra will continue to inspire future generations, just as they have inspired explorers for thousands of years. When you leave this island, you will remember far more than the dragon blood trees or the turquoise sea. You will remember a place where time seems to move differently, where nature still writes its own story, and where one small island proves that the greatest wonders on Earth are often the ones few people have ever seen. This is Socotra. Thank you for watching.